Good morning, everyone. For Certification Bootcamp Review number 6 for Photoshop, we're going to use this picture that one of my former students created using different tools, but I just thought, it's a little humorous, whatever. But I'm going to review a couple of the things, but for most of what I want to talk about, it's the newer stuff. And so what I'm going to do to start is just review a few things, like how to create a new layer. I'm going to do that by going down here to the lower right hand corner to the new icon on the layers panel. Again, if for some reason you ever encounter a question in a certification exam or on geometrics where you don't see the panel here, then if you go to window, they're all listed there. You can find it there. So you can find layers and boom, there it is. So I'm going to create a new layer and I'm going to start off using the pencil. You know that the pencil draws a line with a hard edge. If I switch that to brush tool, the brush draws a line with a soft edge, or it can be adjusted to a hard edge. But it also gives you the ability to have different types of brushes and to adjust specific settings like the shape dynamics, which you will probably see a question about, including making a new brush, which would be done down there. You would choose what size first, and then you go in here and adjust the jitter and the diameter, the angle jitter, etc. So that's those. And if I'm taking two layers and I want to group them together, I just click on one, select on the other layer down here, and then click on the little folder icon, and that creates groups. But I'm not doing that right now. I just wanted to show you that. If you want to turn on and off visibility for something, you click the eyeball. And if you ever encounter anything where it's asking you to filter out your view of the layers, so you're just seeing the text layers, you can click on this, and we don't have any text layers, so nothing's showing up. Or this, we can see adjustment layers. Or this, we see any kind of graphic layers, pictures, things like that. So that's what those filters are. Some of these are shapes and paths like this. If we had a shape layer, it would show that. Alright, so anyways, for purposes of showing you the art history brush tool and the history brush tool, I'm going to go to image, and I'm going to go to, image. I want to find desaturate. I gotta kind of do that down here, don't I? I have to select a layer, image, and then if I go to adjustments and desaturate, it's going to take all my color out. It makes it kind of hard to see the Tide logo there because, well, the background, orange, is very similar intensity to the yellow background, so you get a very similar gray. So I'm going to undo that, and the art history brush, well, first of all, let's just say, you guys should be familiar with this by now, the history panel, which is up here. If I have that up, if I go to the history brush tool, which you should be familiar with from our activities, when you use that and you choose the previous state that you want to make appear on there, you just click on that little brush there and you'll see, oh, there's the art history brush. And now if I go in here and start painting over certain spots, I bring that part back. I return that part to a previous state, to its previous state. So if I just want to color in one area, or I wanted to do a color splash effect or anything like that, I could use this tool that way. So that's that, but check out the art history brush tool. You might encounter something with this. Art history brush, the big difference is it does what we're doing here, but with style. So it makes it look like it's painted, like it's kind of a painting effect. And you can adjust things like how intense the style is up here by going to style. I can go to loose curl, I can change the area, so I can make that more like 30 and it doesn't take up as much space, or I can make it 10, and I can also change the tolerance. and you can see then it just does kind of lines. So it just kind of does like a little painting effect to it. So that is, they have different presets up here. I could do dab, which basically just does kind of a bunch of dots. And so it's basically doing the same thing as the history brush, but just with a different style with the stroke. So it kind of changes the image. So that's the difference between the art history brush and the history brush. And if we are zoomed out really far and we want to zoom back in so that everything here fits on the screen, there's a few ways we can do that. We can go to the View menu and then go to Fit on Screen, or we can go Control 0 and that fits it on the screen. Alright, so then another thing I want to show you guys, I'm going to back up a whole bunch for this. I'm going to go back to what the file looked like when it was open. And I am going to show you guys if I want to adjust vibrance, if I go to Image, Adjust Vibrance, I can do that. I can do that here, and that's the destructive way of doing it. Or if I have multiple layers and I just want to do it for that one layer, then I can go to the Adjustments layer and choose Vibrance, which is this one. It also kind of looks like a V, but if you hover over it, it tells you what it is up there. So I'm choosing Vibrance, and I have to choose that first, and then Vibrance, and it automatically adjusted it for that layer. So that's how you do that. And then if I have multiple layers and I want to flatten my image down to one layer, and go to Layer, Flatten Image. Now if I had multiple layers and I wanted to flatten multiple layers, but not all of them, I could select the ones I want to merge, and I can do and turn their eyeballs on so that you can see them, and turn the other ones off, and then I can merge visible. So you can merge in different ways. You can also merge one layer to the one below it by doing merge down. And that's that.